So apparently we're going live. I just wanted to harvest some of our strawberries as we're back. It's been an incredible past week. We traveled to Cornwall with the family and my local church family for a camping trip, and it was absolutely an amazing experience, guys. The only thing is, I was worrying about how my plants were going to actually survive without, the constant watering, because we've been having quite a dry past 2 months, 3 months maybe. Spring has been really dry this year, and that's been good in some instances, but of course, in some instances, it's also been kind of tricky because it means if we haven't been having a lot of rain, that we're going to have to actually be watering our plants a lot more. So the greenhouse has been like absolute fire early in spring, and of course outside our plants have been struggling to keep hydrated. I mean, yeah, we've realized how important rain is when you've actually got plants and they need that constant source of water. I'm just looking at the strawberries now. I've come back and they've survived, which is a good thing, but I'm sure they could have done with some watering, especially in the mornings. So today I'm just going to be harvesting a few strawberries, guys. I thought I'd just get onto live. This is something that I wanted to do a lot more of, but I never really have the time to schedule it to actually go live. It'll be great to sort of have a scheduled time to go live and actually have folks join me in the garden, which would be really nice. But today, the beautiful weather that we're having, I thought I'll just come out here and play around with it. The last time we went live on this channel was probably around 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So it's something that is long overdue, to say the least. So this will give me an opportunity to see what it's like to actually go live. Let's see, live chat messages. What have we got here? Super chat, top chat. I mean, all of this stuff is pretty new to me, but yeah, you got to start somewhere, I suppose. How's the weather where you guys are? I don't know, you might be watching this after we've gone live. Maybe you're having loads of rain. I know some of our subscribers in Canada, a few weeks ago, they were mentioning that they were having loads of rain, but it's been quite the opposite here in sunny UK. Literally been going through a drought almost. Our strawberries have been ripening up now, which is great, and today I'm going to be harvesting some of them because there's quite a few on here. Yesterday when we got home from our trip, we came straight to the garden to check to make sure that everything was still alive, and we harvested a couple, but there is still quite a few under this netting that needs to be harvested, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. Let me see if I can actually flip this camera around. No idea whether or not I can. Ah, brilliant. So yeah, you can see the strawberry plants. Whenever it's really warm, they start sort of falling over because they're so dehydrated. In many ways, I guess it's a bit like us because, yeah, water is so important. And look at these guys. Something's been nibbling on this one here, which is typical. To be honest, I'm really surprised to come home and find so many still on the actual plants and haven't been eaten. I mean, this one here, look how shiny that is. I don't know if the camera will even do it justice because this is a live stream, but they look so red and so pretty. It's unbelievable. Look at that one there. These are a couple that we have in these pots. They kind of look like some chimney stacks. I got given these by a neighbor a couple of years ago, and we've had these plant pots just literally living in here for a little while. Oh, look at that massive spider. Hello. I think I just disturbed his sleep. Sorry, mate. But yeah, these plant pots, I don't typically like pots in the garden because a lot of time they're a haven for slugs. You know, in the daytime they literally slink down in the little crevices and literally just stay there until night, and they come out and do this to your beautiful fruit. This one got bitten. I'm not even sure what ate this one. Can't see any slug or snail residue, but who knows. But yeah, that's what happens when you're gardening. So the strawberries are definitely coming in thick and fast now. Some of them aren't as big as I thought they would be this year. Sophia keeps telling me that on the news, it said that we're meant to have big sweet strawberries this year. But they've been sort of small to average size. We had a few big ones. No monstrosities like you have in the supermarket. Yeah, we don't do stuff like that in organic gardening, if you ask me. It's meant to be sort of normal sizes. They're still very sweet, very, very fragrant. You can taste and see the seeds. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, guys, but you can actually see the seeds. And even from this distance, my hand outstretched, I can actually smell them as well. They smell really, really nice and strawberry-y, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm gonna harvest these ones and give them a quick water. I should have done it a bit earlier this morning. I mean, these have just been crying out for some watering. Might as well just pick them off. So yeah, look at that. I mean, a lot of them haven't been eaten, which I'm so surprised with. Then again, the ones in the pots typically are a bit more protected. It's the ones that are under the netting in the bed that normally sort of gets demolished the most. And surprisingly this year, our best performing strawberry plant has been this one here. I mean, look at the size of this one. Yesterday, I probably should have waited for this video to harvest them. We had some gorgeous red ones on there that we picked off. And I haven't seen strawberries ripen that much on the vine since I've been growing them, because normally you've got to pick them quick or else the birds and the snails and the slugs will normally have them. But they were just so red, so beautiful and sweet. We had them for breakfast this morning. Well, after we ate most of them yesterday anyway. And so that pot has done really, really well this year, which is my surprise, because it's quite a small pot, quite shallow, quite elevated, which basically means that it will dry out a lot quicker. But you know, nature just does its thing sometimes. So I've been covering these with some netting. I'll just remove this so we can see what's underneath. I'm trying to do this with one hand while filming, of course. Maybe a good idea to get these rocks off, which we used to weight down, and this brick. I think the girls had done this, so kudos to Naomi for actually covering this back for me the other day. And let's see what we're working with, if there's anything left, because I find that my strawberry bed normally gets the most attacks, if that makes sense, because we've got these woodlouse, which are actually more dangerous, believe it or not, than the slugs. They live in here constantly, in the foliage, in the undergrowth, while the slugs tend to go away and come back in. And these woodlouse are lethal, guys. They eat the strawberries like nobody's business. When we harvest them, you can still see them scurrying out of it. But let's start over here with this pot. And well, the color on these things, honestly, it looks photoshopped. It's like Photoshop in real life. They're so red, so shiny, so pretty. These two pots here in particular, and I know I've transplanted some in the main bed. These strawberries are actually from my mom's garden in London, and my mom absolutely adored gardening. She loved growing her own food. And if you look at them, they kind of look pinkish. Well, they are pinkish when they start ripening, so they're not red in the typical sense. They eventually turn bright red. They're a bit more elongated than normal strawberries, so they're not as round, typically like little snowdrops. And they start off pink before going to this beautiful red color. And they're really sweet and really nice. And you know, I've tried my best to keep this plant going. For the past few years. Sort of like, it's always a good thing to keep plants going when they've been gifted to you. And in another way, it's kind of a way of remembering my mom. So every time I pick these strawberries, straight away I remember where they're from, and they're quite unique. And so yeah, it's such a nice gesture. I'm not even sure if the strawberries that were in her garden are still alive, so this might be the last descendants of that. Gonna have to hit my dad up to find out whether or not he's been looking after them. Probably not, but you know, one could hope. So yeah, just harvesting these ones. There's quite a few ones. Oh my gosh, look at this one, just so pretty. And the smell, amazing. So I think I'm gonna get quite a nice harvest today, guys, because like I said, all week we've been away. So we've actually been away in Cornwall with my church, camping with our youngsters. It was half term, sort of spring break, and it was just amazing. We did so many activities, and I probably need to do a separate video just recapping what we did in that. I did plan on actually vlogging and recording what we did, but yeah, there was just too much going on. We were in and out. The weather was a bit crazy when we just arrived in Cornwall. In fact, it was more like a storm than anything else. And yeah, it was just absolutely brutal on the Monday when we arrived. And then on the Tuesday, we actually went surfing. We did coast steering. We'd gone on some amazing hikes. It was just such an amazing experience. And yeah, I'll show you guys some videos at some point and photos of what we managed to capture. But one of the things with growing organically, guys, is look at this. This is a strawberry. You will never see this in the supermarket. Let me put that one down and hopefully get the camera to focus. This one has all sorts of defects. I mean, look at that. Oh man, this looks like something that is not going to be sweet, but I guarantee you, once this is washed, this is going to taste just as nice, if not sweeter, than some of the other normal shaped ones. I don't know what it is with wonky vegetables and wonky fruit. They just seem to concentrate their goodness compared to some of the other ones. So I'm not even throwing that away. It's still edible, it's still good. This ain't Tesco's or Asda. It's going in the bowl, guys, and we move on. So yeah, picking strawberries. I should really get the girls to come and do this, but they were relaxing inside with mom, and you know how crazy kids can get, especially once the camera is out. So I think for my own sanity, I'll just quickly do this and get them nice and harvest. Look at that. Now, I always try to encourage people to grow strawberries at home because they're so easy to do, guys. So easy to grow. You literally just need a bit of space. And as you can see, you can even use containers. I've got some containers there, and they're dotted all around the garden, actually. There's some in other parts of our courtyard. And yeah, they're just so easy to grow. So why not? Even if you can get some fruit for like a couple months of the year, it's certainly better than none. And they're 100% organic, and you've grown them yourself, so what's not to love? And the more you do it, is the more confident you become. And yeah, overall I think it's just really a healthy thing to do. Gardening for me is it's not a chore anymore. It's a pleasure. It's something that I enjoy doing, and I'm sure those who are subscribed to our channels and grow along with us, they feel the same way. And so yeah, just wanted to encourage somebody else to do it. And the good thing about strawberries and a lot of vegetables and fruit, when you plant them one year, you can sort of reap year after year with very little effort. And what's not to love about that? Now over here, I think we've got some larger ones sort of in this section, but what is it with these insects? The larger ones seem to be more prone to the attacks. Now you can see that hole there. That's not actually a slug or a snail that's done it. This year we've been very fortunate because of the dry weather not to be bombarded with the snails and the slugs. But like I mentioned, the woodlouse, those little unassuming critters, they are so lethal when it comes to eating your fruit, your strawberry. So this one, I think, has probably been chomped by a woodlouse, and it's one of the larger ones, and it smells, oh my gosh, it smells so good, guys, honestly. It's a shame it was bitten by one of these woodlouse, but I'm not chucking it. I'll put it in there and we'll salvage what we can because it's quite a large one. And yeah, let's see what else we can find. So let me speed through this because that's another thing. Gardening takes up time, which is why a lot of people struggle to find time to do it. But again, if you want a mental health boost, gardening is definitely a cheap way to go. And at the front of our bed, we've got quite a few hanging off. If you look at the front here, I mean, it's quite a lot here actually, more than I thought. I thought we were gonna literally just have a handful that were edible. But God has definitely been gracious to us today, because we're gonna have loads. At this rate, I might even be able to make some jam. But I find that I don't typically make jam with our strawberries, guys. I don't know if you make jam. It used to be a very common thing, I guess, back in the day, but now jam is so cheap, and you know, it takes so much time to actually make yourself some jam. Unless you're getting tons and tons of strawberry, might not be worth all the hassle. Personally, it is a fun activity to do with the kids though. Last year we made blackberry jam, and we went to do some wild blackberry picking, and we had so much that we had to just make some jam basically, because it was just so much that we harvested. I mean, look at that, guys. We've got that much already. It's probably 1/3 of what's here, and we still got loads more. And yeah, making jam is quite a fun thing to do. This year I'm definitely going to be doing the same, because that jam last year was amazing. Like, honestly, you know, when you make something and you know it's going to be nice, but you don't really, you know, think it's going to be as nice as it ends up being. That's what happened. The jam was so good and it ran out way too quick, so we're going to try and replicate that this year. We've got loads of small ones over here, and they're quite tiny still, but I think the drought's really been affecting them. I mean, these should have been much bigger, but you know, a rose by any other name, it's still a rose if you ask me. Okay, let's get over here. Alright, let's see. You can see a lot of damage here. Oh, somebody's been eating that one. Look, they've gone clean through. It's like a hotel, a little mini bug hotel, guys. Got one exit there, one up there, one there, and round the back. Oh my gosh, they went to town on these ones. Guess these ones in this area are more exposed, so easy for them to access. And again, I think that's mostly the woodlouse, because I can't see any sort of slug marks. Normally when the slugs and the snails come knocking, you can see from their trails. I haven't really seen much of that. Oh, look at this. All of the large ones completely clean off the bottom of that one. And the smaller one just beside it, nah, I'll just leave that one for Ken to have. I'm not even mad. Gotta pay your taxes, guys. Death and taxes, two things which are sure. And even in the gardening world, you gotta pay your garden tax to the little critters that inhabit this space. I'm gonna pick that one because, whoa, look at the size of this one. That's a good size, isn't it? I think this is probably the largest one we've harvested today. I think I did pick one the other day. It was bigger than this one, just, but this is a good size. I think I'll put this one in my pocket. No, I'm joking. Yeah, that was a good size one. It's always nice when you get some larger ones. But yeah, this is us, guys, picking some strawberries. Again, that one's been eaten. I'm not even going to bother harvesting them if I see that they've been chomped. Just leave it for the locals to have. And yeah, it's as simple as that. I think I'll leave that one. And I try to leave them on the vine as long as I can to ripen, because obviously they get a lot sweeter that way rather than trying to pick them before they're ready. Yeah, might be a good idea. We've got a weed growing in here, which is quite unusual. How did you get in here? Let's pull that out. It's always getting everywhere, but I need to do so much work in the garden, guys. But part of the reason why I haven't been doing as much uploading and gardening work is because I'm actually nursing an injury. I was injured myself, I guess, working too hard recently. It's a pre-existing injury that I've had, and it's literally flared up, and yeah, it's been giving me a very warm time. I almost cancelled our trip to Cornwall because I thought to myself I wouldn't be able to go on all the activities, and you know, I'll just be a third wheel. But sort of just like prayed and asked God just to help me sort of make it through to the other side, and somehow I managed to go on all the activities, and I really enjoyed myself while there. However, yeah, I now need some time to recover, I think, because yeah, I got absolutely shattered, going on all the different excursions that we went on and so on. So it's been an eventful week, and this week I'm gonna have to take it nice and easy, and just to recover, and hopefully once I recover I can get back up and running, because there's so much to do in the garden. Bit of landscaping that I need to do in here that I was planning on doing this summer, and yeah, you know what it's like, planting stuff out, watering, weeding, you name it. But life goes on. Rome wasn't built in a day, and so you got to take each day as it comes. And yeah, today I'm just picking some strawberries, nice and easy. I do try to leave them. Oh, what happened there? I think I might have accidentally squeezed one. The juice came out of that is so red. I thought it was bleeding there for a second. Oh, very good. So yeah, I tend to leave them to ripen on the vine, and when you leave them, that means there's something for you to come back to tomorrow. I think I've pretty much exhausted all of the ones that I wanted to get today, and I'll leave some for them to finish eating, because you know, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and I'll come back tomorrow. So that's it, guys. Our strawberries have been picked. The plants are looking worse for wear, so I think after this, when I wrap up this live, I'm just going to give them a quick drink, and then hopefully tomorrow we can keep on harvesting. But that's a good amount of strawberry. That's probably what, maybe around 500 grams, give or take. Not bad harvest if you ask me. And all from this one little patch here, guys, that the girls helped me build a couple of years ago. I'll just show you, we've got a couple more strawberries dotted around the garden, which are a bit of like experiments. So we had this hanging basket, which looks absolutely amazing, but the fruits never really come to fruition. You know, the watering system, you're meant to water it from the top here, and it actually trickles down, but for some reason it never really gets the water to where it needs, and most of the plants end up dying off as it gets warmer. So I think this is the last year I'm going to attempt this. In principle it looks fantastic, but there's no way you can keep it watered. These are some pink flowered strawberries, which I bought just one plant last year. It was very cute, so I bought it, and it actually flowered and has some fruit on it. I mean, they're tiny because, you know, everything's tiny this year it seems, but trying to keep it watered in this little pot has been a bit tough. But nevertheless, we've got some strawberries. These are pretty when they're ripened. They're really red. The flowers are pink, but of course the strawberries are red, and they're very, very sweet. So there's a handful here. I might as well just pick them, because if not, the birds will probably just help themselves. I'm hoping that it will send off some runners this year, because I want to propagate it to get it in a much larger pot and have more of them. But time will tell. I'm trying to keep it alive, so I've taken it out of the direct sun in the mornings. And yeah, we've also got some strawberries over here somewhere. Look at this grass, guys, it needs mowing. Amazing. We got some in this pot. I was looking through. Oh, I can actually harvest one of them. Awesome. There's another one under here that hasn't been, well, this one's been eaten. This might have been from a slug because it's more exposed. Let's just pick that off of there. And over here we've got another one. Brilliant. So you can grow your strawberries in pots as well. Over here we had some more which I transplanted. This one's actually sending out a runner already, which is quite early. There's a few on here, but they're not ready. These were planted in later because I just needed somewhere to put them, and I'd run out of space. So yeah, that's about it for all our strawberries, guys. And we're going to keep harvesting, I think, in the days to come. The greenhouse, it needs some TLC. This is our raised bed. Look how parched that is. These are some strawberry plants that we had that we didn't have a chance to plant out because there's just no space, and I've literally left them here and they're still fruiting, guys. They're so resilient, honestly. We got some of our bushes that we got some fruit growing on. This is one of our red currants, I think, that we planted out. this one is a tayberry, which is growing nicely, but no blossoms, maybe not this year. And over here, this is our raspberry in the container, which, believe it or not, is actually fruiting. I mean, I've never seen raspberries this small before, but it is definitely fruiting, making an attempt. It's first year in this pot. So yeah, we're going to watch this, keep it watered, and hopefully in the years to come it will become more established. So that's it pretty much. Not much going on in the garden apart from that. Fruit wise, things are starting to take off as we head into summer, and I thought I'd just do this quick live because I haven't done one in such a long time, to show you guys what we've been doing, and how we are picking our strawberries. Strawberry picking in summer, spring, always a blessing. Anyway guys, hope you guys are doing well. Hope to see you in the next video. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.